Welcome back to Izakaya Dreaming. Today we're going to attack these Shoji screens. We're going to replace the paper and see if we can get them looking a little bit better because they are old and they're ratty and lots of holes in them and they just look terrible. The other thing that I have to do, which I'll probably do in a later project, is the doors here need a little bit of work as well. But for today, we're just going to get this paper changed over and have a few problems along the way. I started this one off by getting one of the two doors in the tea room. Figured I'd start on these because these are the biggest doors, and I hoped that meant that they'd be the easiest. So the first thing I decided to do is take these windows out from the bottom of the doors, and this actually ended up being my first mistake of the day, which I'll explain in a little bit. But after I got that window out, basically what I needed to then do was take the sliding Shoji out of the door frame. Alright, so with the window out and the little Shoji sliding screen removed, it's time to start taking off the paper. So I decided the easiest way to get the paper off would just be to start cutting the squares out, and then I would begin cleaning it all up. Second mistake of the day, but all will be revealed. So now that I had the paper off, I needed to start cleaning off all the residue. So there was a lot of paper still left on the frame, and that was glued on pretty hard. So I went down to Corner, which is the local hardware store, and I just bought myself a scraper. I was originally going to either try planing it off or maybe using a chisel or sanding it, but this wood is really soft, so I figured I should probably be careful. So I spent about 500 yen on this little scraper, and I just set about just slowly and carefully scraping all of the paper and the glue residue off the frame. This was a really long and laborious task. It was one of those tasks that you just gotta keep at it until you finish. Just wondering whether I should keep going at that point or just buy new Shoji. But after a while, once you get into a rhythm with it, it actually becomes quite sort of meditative. But I really wanted to do this well, because we had some people coming over, so I wanted the Shoji to look good for the weekend. So with the little screen done, time to get on to the big screen and the main part of the door. So I couldn't take these screens out, so these screens are actually built into the door frame. So they were a little bit more tricky to do because they're recessed a little bit into the door frame. So getting the scraper sort of right into the corners there to get out the paper and the glue was a little bit of a challenge, but we got there in the end. You see there, I'm kind of supporting where the Shoji frame sort of joins together. It's really flimsy there, and because it was raised up from the table a little bit, I had to be really careful because I needed to put a little bit of pressure on the frame, but I couldn't put too much on there, otherwise I'd snap it. So just had to be really careful. So with that done, it was then just a matter of getting a few of the little bits off the side. So the glue was had gone over the edges a little bit, and some of the paper as well. So I just needed to get that off the inside because you would be able to see it once I put the paper back on, which I didn't want. So all in all, it took around about 3 hours to get that first door done, and that was mainly because of the scraping, just because I wanted to be really, really careful. If I had have just used the sander, I probably could have got it off really quickly, but it's just so delicate. I had to be really careful, so it took a long time. Alright, so we pretty much got all the paper off the Shoji screen there, which is good. Yeah, so I mean there's a little bit of residue there. I hope that's okay. I don't know. We'll see. I might have to maybe sand it off or something like that. I don't know, but that's the best I can do without digging too deeply into it. I can't imagine that's a problem. I mean, I'll be putting pretty thick paper over the top, but I'll have a look into it and I'll do a bit of research and see if, that's okay. I wish I'd done that research, and you'll find out why soon. One thing I'm a little bit annoyed with myself over, though, is when I took the glass out, because I decided I wanted to take the glass out of these doors because I just really don't like it. It looks... I just reckon it looks horrible. And it's going into the Ngawa anyway, so I don't really see the point of it. It's not double glazed or anything like that, so it's not insulating or anything like that. And in fact, in summer, it's only going to have a bit of a greenhouse effect. So yeah, I decided to take it out, but I don't know whether I did this while I was doing that or not. I'm not too sure. You can see here the wood has kind of split, and it's, as you can see, if I can get underneath there, it's really, really thin. It's basically, there's just a strip of wood along here. Yeah, I don't know what wood it is, but it is a softwood, I can tell you that. So I might have to go and get a strip for that. Luckily enough, when you put this Shoji screen in, it will actually cover it, and even when it's up, like the paper will cover it, so you're probably not going to see it anyway. But yeah, I definitely won't be putting the windows back in. Hopefully, I actually, but when I first took the window out, I actually didn't realize how easy this was to get out. I had a bit of a look at it and missed a really obvious technique to get it out, which is just pretty annoying. But anyway, so I took that window out just by kind of maneuvering it out. And I'm gonna bet that with this one here, if I take this screen out first, which is easy to get out, I'm gonna bet that I can then just pull that window out. I hope, because I don't want to break this again. But if I break it again, I'll just go down to the hardware store and get another piece of wood. But it's so flimsy. It's really hard to work with this stuff because it's really, really flimsy. It's almost like a craft wood. It's like, I don't know, a little bit harder than a balsa wood. Yeah, it's really quite difficult to work with. Anyway, I'll see if I can get the screen off this door and pull the glass through, and hopefully that'll work. So this time I decided to take the screen off first, and then the window just slid up and out straight away. So a lot easier this time. So now it was a matter of getting back to scraping and removing paper. By this time I'd spent about 2.5, maybe even 3 hours doing it. So I'd actually gotten pretty good at it. So this one actually didn't take quite as long, but it was still a really laborious process. So I did at one point try the chisel just to see how it would go, but I haven't actually set the chisels up yet. So it started to dig into the frame. I've got to set my chisels up properly. I just recently bought them. So back to the scraper. So with another one of the doors done, I just had the small sliding screen left, and I would have removed all the paper from the tea room doors. So I decided that it might be cool to do one of these overhead or over the shoulder shots as I scrape the screen here. And then my family came home. How you going, buddy?
Eh?
Okay, then. So one of the things that my wife said to me when they came home is she wondered why I was still going, nearly 6 hours later. I wish I'd listened. She told me that when she was a kid, when they used to change the Shoji screens, they used to do it in an afternoon. But I thought to myself, oh yeah, it's probably one of those things where, you know, you help your grandparents do something and you think you were there for the whole time, but you were really only there at the end of the process. I really wish I'd looked into it. So with both tea room doors cleaned, I decided to call it for the day. Next morning I got up and I went to Cornan and I bought some Shoji paper and some glue. And I read the label on the glue and this happened.
So, this is the part of the video where I show you how stupid I've been. So, you've been watching me take this Shoji paper off these doors and scrape away the glue and scrape away the paper. Well, I just found out that the glue is made of like a potato starch, which means it's completely soluble in water, which means all I had to do was put some water on the glue and it would dissolve in about 5 seconds and I could just peel the paper off. So my hours of scraping those two doors, let me show you what it should have looked like.
So approximately 17 minutes later, the rest of the 4 doors in the tokonoma room were completely cleaned and ready to be papered. So now that I've learnt my lesson, when I feel like I should research something a bit, I decided not to research. So I just put the paper down, measured it off to see if it was straight, and then just got started gluing. So luckily enough, this did actually work out pretty well. Although you'll see me surrounded by semi-heavy objects there that I was using to hold the paper down. Well, in the top right hand corner of the screen there, you'll see that little piece of paper that I just threw away when I unrolled the paper. Well, that's a set of stickers specifically designed to hold the paper down while you glue it. So it was actually quite a challenge doing the Shoji paper. The main reason it was such a challenge is because this glue, it doesn't really go tacky at all. So when you roll the paper out, the paper just wants to roll up again. So you've really got to be careful to make sure that you're weighing it down and keeping it sort of, keeping it stuck. At this point, I'd actually realised what that sheet of stickers was. So now I was using them. The other thing with these doors is that these screens here where the paper is, there's actually a tiny little rebate. So I sort of had to get the stickers off, press the paper down into that little rebate, and then once I'd done that, I could then put the stickers back on. But while I was doing that, I had to have them off, so it went okay. But it also meant that I had to cut the paper a lot earlier than I really wanted to. So you can see here how the paper started to roll back again. But I did after a while find that once you started to really press it down and get the glue sort of soaking through, you can see the dark lines there where the glue on the back of the lattice works sort of soaking through the paper. Once that starts to happen, then it does start to stick. So I decided to experiment a little bit, and with this particular one here, I decided to smear the glue a little bit and get it on a little bit thinner. And I also decided to cut the corners a little bit just to relieve the pressure so that the paper didn't roll back too much. Just made it easier to work with it without it constantly trying to peel itself off the frame. And that seemed to work really well, actually. Alright, so all of the sliding Shoji screens are done. And the tops of pretty much all the doors. Alright, all the doors are re-screened except for two. Just the top half of two of the screens, but pretty much all repapered. Looks pretty good from this side, which is good. Only problem is we have a Engawa, and the back side of the screens is in the Engawa. So you'll normally see it from this side, which that looks alright. I'm happy enough with that. But the problem is, when you walk down the Engawa, you're gonna see that side, which again doesn't look too bad until you turn it into the light and you see all those wrinkles. And when I tap on it, you'll notice it's got this really kind of papery sort of sound. So what I need to do is I need to tighten this paper up, get rid of those wrinkles. So I'm just going to do that, and then hopefully we'll have this thing sounding like a drum. Let's do it. Alright, so that one's getting there. It's still got a little bit to go. But as you can see, if I kind of turn it to the side now, you'll see that it's pretty tight now. Pretty quickly. That was only 5 minutes or so. I should probably do the other side as well, just to make sure that it kind of tightens it evenly on both sides. But yeah, you notice you get it quite a different sound out of it now. So now if I tap it, you hear it kind of sounds like a drum. Yeah, so there you go. So I'll just go do the other screens, and then then I just need to trim the edges off these, and then the Shoji project is done. Cool. So as you can see here, those doors are still a little bit sticky. So I will do a project in the future to fix those up. And that is the tokonoma room done. So because the paper is on the back of these sliding Shoji, I just wanted to make sure that they slid okay, and they slid pretty well, which is good. You'll notice I did end up putting all of the windows back in too. I was overruled on that one. So now the only thing left to do is complete the Shoji paper on the final two doors. So these are the big doors for the tea room. So glue those down, get them done. So with that one, I am finally onto my very last door and I am done. This project was not done with me yet. So off to Cornan to get another roll of paper. So once I got back from Cornan, I decided to give it a break for a night, and then I got up early the next morning to put these screens back in. It's now time to put the tea room doors back in. These ones are a little bit sticky as well, but they are a lot better. Give it a little bit of a spray, and let's have a look at some before and after shots, because this project is done.
Straight down in the baby line, and my burden on still time. Street bound in the paper dust, in the sunlight we find the ghost.
Well, that's another video wrapped up. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it, that's for sure. If you want to see more of my content, subscribe to the Izakaya Dreaming channel. If you could give this video a thumbs up, that'd be amazing. And if you want to be notified of new content as it arrives on the channel, hit the notification bell. Cheers.